Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Talonflame, but we're not running the standard moveset, we're not running even Brave Bird on this Pokemon, no. We are running Fire Blast, because nobody really expects this, nobody really knows that, and unlike Brave Bird, Fire Blast doesn't have any drawbacks, you just do a tremendous amount of damage. I think it's 140 damage, 480 energy, which is not even that good, to be fair. Like, it's still of course doing quite a lot of damage, but there are quite some better moves in Pokemon Go, but it is what it is. Still does quite a lot of damage when we hit it, and hopefully you're gonna hit some here today. Otherwise, we're going to have a team here that I usually like to run with Giratina Origin in the back, but of course it is still fine with the Talonflame being also a Pokemon that can deal with fighting type Pokemon. Giratina Origin is just a little bit better sometimes in that kind of regard, because you have like super effective damage against Pokemon like the Annihilate, which is just like the most common fighting type Pokemon. Anyway. First battle here, we're going to encounter the Whiscash with our Sableye. We're already able to get rid of the skeleton of the opponent, but we still don't know what they have in the bag. Hopefully it's going to be something that our Talonflame can still deal with, as we can still reach another move here with our Sableye, which is quite decent. This is going to be able to knock them out, and in the bag is going to be their own Talonflame. So what we can do is we can align our Talonflame, and we can try to go for a Fly now. And this looks like a CMP time. They should be at 4 fast moves at this point, and we should be able to just go for 2 fast moves now with our Vigoroth, go for a Rock Slide, and hopefully going to knock them out. Let's find out. We're going to see here that I can still reach that Rock Slide, and this is going to be it for the first game, getting rid of the opponent, but no Fire Blast yet. Maybe we're going to be able to hit a Fire Blast in the next game. We're going to have the Whiscash in the lead. Again, a Pokemon that is actually quite fine for you. You kind of want to go for 6 counters and then go for a Body Slam. That's going to guarantee you the maximum amount of damage from counter, as that's going to be a CMP tie on Scald. Honestly, I'm sometimes surprised on how strong Whiscash is if it gets the debuff, as you're gonna see here right now. But they actually swap out into the Skarmory, which is kind of fine for us, but also kind of not, because while this is a cool matchup for us, we have the super effective damage from our fast move, we don't have Flame Charge, and this is quite an annoying thing, because we would have been able to just go for the Flame Charge before and just go for the Farm Down then, or like you basically don't have to use a shield then. But like this, we're forced to go for the full Farm Down and use a shield, but at least we can still hit some flies against the opponent here. And maybe I make a little bit of a mistake here. I could have went for some more fast moves before, because as you're gonna see here, the opponent is going to be able to go for a charge move against us. I decided to use a shield because I kind of want to still keep my Talonflame around, but I can still reach another charge move. If I just like committed already previously to like the knockout here with our Talonflame, I would have been fine, just like went for one fast move before throwing in the charge moves, but it is what it is, because there's going to be the Dragonair in the back, and this is going to be actually kind of fine for us, as we're going to be able to still survive that Aqua Tail. I still kind of keep 2 Pokemon alive that can do especially fast move damage against the opponent. We can swap out here. This is going to be totally okay for us. It's most likely going to be a Mud Bomb, but we should be able to just farm them down and win in this game. Still no Fire Blast though, so hopefully we're going to see some here in the next game. We're going to have a horrible lead and a horrible Saisop. It's going to be the Bastion in the back, very likely going to be a Dugong in the back, I would imagine at this point, which is a tough line to beat for this team, but they decide to go for a shield here, which I am definitely happy about, because it's going to allow us to now have at least somewhat of an advantage. As the Stone Edge is coming through, we can go for one more foul play against them to put them a little bit lower and to counter down range, but the opponent actually going to wait out a little bit here. No, actually they didn't. I think I would have got there no matter what. And so we can get some more damage onto them. We can go for the full counter down here, trying to go up to 1 Rock Slide. We should not be able to reach Rock Slide. Actually, I think we're 1 fast move away from it, which is totally okay though, because we can swap out straight away, hoping that there is going to be a Dugong in the bag. Let's find out here what they're going to have. They decide to stay in for a little bit. I'm forced to go for a shield here just in case it's a Shadow Ball. It is just going to be the Night Slash, and there is the Dugong. I make a mistake here by going for the extra fast move, so just went straight for the Fire Blast, but it is fine, as he's going to be able to connect and look at the damage. Like, Dugong is one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the meta, but this is still doing so much damage to them, and we can go for the full farm down now. Having nearly 2 flies stored, I'm gonna go straight for the charge move. Maybe this was a mistake actually. Maybe I should try to go for one more fast move, because like this, the opponent still can go for a charge move before I can reach 2 flies, and I guess at this point, sadly, while we were able to connect that Fire Blast, we're not going to be able to win that game, as we just kind of got hardball, to be fair. Like, there was not a lot that I can do about it. Annihilate against Vigoroth is the worst possible matchup that I could have imagined in the lead, but we still kind of came close towards winning this game, so we can move on to the next opponent. This is more the kind of lead that I like to see, but this is not the Pokemon that I like to see swapping into us. This team is a little bit weak to Carbink. Giratina is definitely a little bit of a better Pokemon to deal with the Carbink. Yes, you're still a Dragon-type Pokemon against a Fairy-type, but both Fast Move as well as Shadow Ball is doing quite a lot of damage against the opponent, while of course we can use shields in that kind of regard, but here we kind of have to rely on our Vigoroth, or we could try to catch a Rock Slide on our Sableye. This would be also a play that we can go for, as Sableye is actually still kind of okay against the opponent in terms of at least doing Fast Move damage. So here, I'm going to try to go for the Rock Slide, but they swap out back into the Lickitung. And so we can actually still go for the Body Slam, getting some damage onto them, but I still kind of need to keep my Vigoroth alive. And so I try to catch a Body Slam here on my Sableye, did not work out. But they should be in range where basically one return should be enough to knock them. So let's see if we can get there in time. I'm going to try my best, and I can still reach that return. Hopefully it's going to be enough. Let's find out here together. It is going to not be enough, and they can still reach another move, which is just going to be the Body Slam, and so we can still survive, align ourselves, and get some more damage onto them, as we can still reach that foul play, which is quite crucial, because now they would be in range for both a Rock Slide or a Fly later on, which is kind of important, as they're going to have, I think, the Annihilate in the back. It's a tough one. Like, we're kind of forced to go straight for a charge move here, I think, in order to knock them out before they can go for, like, a Shadow Ball, and so the Fly is coming through, is going to be able to knock them for sure. Kind of sad that they caught the move there, of course, but let's see. They can still go for a charge move. It's going to come down to our Vigoroth if we can still win this battle. It is going to be very close, and we will see that we can still reach that Rock Slide, knock them out, win the game, and move on to the next opponent. Hopefully you're gonna see some more Fire Blast land here. Against this, yeah, Sandslash would definitely do quite a lot of damage. Yeah, I didn't want to do this. I definitely did not want to do this. I kind of wanted to go ahead and go into my Sableye instead, but it is what it is. It's still kind of fine though, because we can definitely guarantee alignment here, I think. And at this point, I think we're at 100 energy, so like the opponent is... Oh, they're actually going to use a shield here. That's interesting. I decide to go ahead and go for a shield here as well, which is maybe a little bit of an mistake. I'm not too sure. They can still reach another move, and yeah, that's going to be a tough one, because now I can still go for a Fly and knock them out, but I cannot go for the full farm down, and I don't have Flame Charge, so I would not be able to knock out the Sandslash either. So we're going to still go straight for that, and they're going to have actually the Azumarill in the back, which is okay for us. We can go for the Fly, get some damage, but what do we really do now? Like, they have a Pokemon here where we are having some troubles with this team, but at least I can still catch the move here, so maybe we can still come back from this. Let's find out. The opponent goes for Play Rough, which is fine, and they swap out straight away into the Sandslash, and I'm like, why would they do this? Like, for them, the best play is just to play it out, because, like, Sandslash is neutral against our Sableye there, and like this, they just give me a ton of energy. And I can go for back-to-back body slams against the opponent, hoping that this would knock them out or get the shield. So let's find out what the opponent is going to try to do now. They decide to go for that body slam as well, and we have to try to go for the full farm now. I think this is going to be sadly a loss. I don't think there's any way that I can win this game, can I? Sadly not, right? Yeah, that's going to knock us out here. Player off coming through, and we still survive and farm them down and win that game. Next opponent, Whiscash in the lead. This is going to be, again, fairly decent for us. Like, again, you kind of want to go not for this, or you kind of want to go for 6 counter, because you have like a 50-50 chance that the next counter damage is going to get debuffed by the Scald. It is better to go ahead and, yeah, basically go for one fast move first. And here, as you can see, they don't get the debuff, which is quite decent for us, as we can reach another move. Usually, you kind of want to keep shields for the Talonflame. In this case, for this kind of moveset that we're running, you kind of want to get rid of the opponent's shields first, because then you can hit like this super powerful Fire Blast against the opponent. Honestly, I was actually hoping that they would have Overheat on the Talonflame, but yeah, that was kind of what I was looking for, but they don't have Overheat on the Talonflame, so we are forced to go for Fire Blast here in order to have some nice nukes. But in comes here Skarmory. Again, it's kind of unfortunate that we don't have Flame Charge, which would have made this matchup a little bit easier, but at least we can still go for a Fly here, which doesn't really help us that the opponent caught Willy Lag on the Registeel, but maybe we can still hit a Fire Blast. Now let's find out what the opponent's going to try to do. I decided to go for the bait, expecting the opponent to use a shield, because it would be the only way of them winning the game. Turns out I was wrong with that, but maybe we can still win the game, and let's find out. Are we gonna still maybe try to go for a little bit of some nice damage here against the opponent's final Pokemon, the Skarmory, as we're gonna go straight for that Fire Blast. I'm not joking around with this one. Can we burn it to death? Yes, we can. Bye-bye there, and we can move on to the next opponent. Going to be the Magnezone. In Camp Z Mantine, this is kinda okay for us because we have Rockslide on this one. We still have some coverage for the Magnezone in the back. Kinda what I want to do here in terms of like the ideal situation that I could imagine is me landing a Rockslide and then swapping out into the Sableye. Sadly, they don't allow me to hit that Rockslide, which is still kinda okay. But I'm forced to go for a shield here because it could be a Water Bolt. It is just the Aerial Ace, which is kind of annoying. But at least this time around, we should hopefully be able to go for that one and actually hit them with it. And we do. And so we can go into the Sableye and get some energy lead, which is very important as this will help us out as well against the opponent's Magnezone, which is coming back in here as well. And we can overfarm by quite a bit, have the Foul Play stored, they're forced to go for a charge move against us, and this is going to be able to get the first shield. They're still throwing, which I don't think they had to do, but I'm definitely happy that they did do this, as the Mirror Shot is going to knock me out. I can go into my Talonflame, and now their shield's down. I think I'm in a decent spot. Hopefully I can hit another Fire Blast against the opponent. They're gonna go for the Mirror Shot bait, which I don't really care too much about this one, but let's find out what is coming in next. It is going to be that Annihilate, and they're going to try to catch the move here on the Mantine. It does not work out. Please let me land that Fire Blast. Yes, we will be able to do so, and you can say goodbye to the opponent with the biggest disrespect there. Bye-bye, Annihilate. Honestly, for this battle alone, it was enough for me to just like, yeah, justify me running this weird move on this Pokemon. But let's know what the opponent's going to do here with the Charger Bug. They decide to go for a shield, which I'm totally happy about, as we were able to even catch the move here. Even thought of catching the move on the Talonflame because it was an obvious way for them to go for the extra there. But luckily I didn't do this because we're gonna bait out the opponent's Whiscash now, which is not going to be impressed by this foul play. Honestly, Whiscash bulk is quite a decent one here, and they can go for the Scald to knock me out, which is actually good for us because now they didn't get as much energy as they most likely wished for. But Wishcast is wishing all of it. We're going to see the Mud Bomb coming through. We're going to get the shield up, and we'd still try to keep some energy for the Charger Bug. Charger Bug has still some energy stored as well, so that can be a problematic one. But they swap out into the Skarmory, and now they're going to go back into the Charger Bug. I'm forced to try to go for the full farm down, basically. And yeah, at this point, sadly, they just have too much energy. I know that they have too much energy, so I decided to let the move go through. My only play here is to go for the Fly, get the knockout here, hope that I can get a shield with the Body Slam. And here is one of the things which I just really want to see for the next season is a damage reduction on Steel Wing. It is quite mad on how like this Pokemon has so much fast move pressure, but yeah, it is what it is. We can move on to the next opponent. Whiscash in the lead, like so many Whiscash here again. Can't wait for this Pokemon to be a little bit less common. I don't think it's going to disappear fully from the meta next season at all, but like it's still definitely going to be a little bit less common, a little bit less annoying, because Whiscash itself can just be there. I don't really care too much about it, but if they get the Scald debuff, which they do here, it is just changing so much for those matchups. And so here you can still try to go for the Body Slam, get them a little bit lower, and here like I would have been able to knock them out already if they didn't get the debuff on me, and it's just like so annoying that basically every matchup is completely different depending on how the Scald debuff hits, and it's just kind of wild. Here we're gonna see the opponent going for the Scald again against us. They don't get the debuff this time around, but we have to hope that Talonflame can win this one. This looks really good for us, alright? They're going to have 2 Pokemon weak to Talonflame. Issue is, we don't have Flame Charge, and so we don't do enough damage really against them to get them into farm down range. And they're also going for quite a lot of charge moves here, and so I'm kind of scared that I am not going to be able to, yeah, get enough damage onto them. Here we're going to get rid of the opponent's Annihilate. I could have thought of maybe going for a Fire Blast, but it's kind of obvious that we're going to go for something like, yeah, a Flame Charge here if you would run it, which I don't run. And so I have to hope that this is going to get the shield from the opponent, which it does actually. And it's going to be even better for me because I can swap out, and it's going to be a CMP type for me with the Sableye against the opponent's Skarmory, getting a ton of damage onto them. And like this, I just have to hit one more Incinerate, which I'm hopefully going to be able to do, and I can and win this game. Next opponent. This is going to be definitely a very interesting one, I can tell you already, as we're going to see here the Altaria swapping in. Not really ideal. I can go up to a return at least and just throw the foul play. Just the safest play to go for here, and we're going to get the shield, which is quite nice, as I can now go up again to a return. And I decided to use a shield here just because I know I can go for 2 more foul plays. It's going to be kind of nice for me later on as well, as I can force either realignment here or get another shield from the opponent, both of which I'm totally happy about. And as said earlier on already in this video, you really want to get rid of the opponent's shields, which we can do now. And so shields are down and Talonflame can definitely go to town. I will try to catch a move here on the Vigoroth just to get the damage onto this one. And now I can try my best to basically farm them down with the Talonflame. They go into the Sableye. That is fine for me. I don't really care too much about it. I'm forced to go for a shield now though, because it's going to hurt quite a bit. But I can overfarm by a lot as well. And so now we're at 100 energy. I can go for the fly, knock them out. This is perfect, because now the opponent goes into, let's find out, it is going to be that Deoxys, and they straight up go for another charge move here, which is going to be the Psycho Boost, which I can still actually take. And the Fire Blast is going to connect now. Look at this. Boom! Going to knock them not out, but getting them very close to a body slam to knock them out, and so we can win this game. And this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed some Fire Blast action on the Talonflame, and I see you then. Bye bye.